writer. So let's just pick right up where we left off, doing these dialogue boxes, and let's see what we got. Also in the background, I'll have Jocko Willing playing developer. Def 01. Yeah. Very tough. Anyways, all right, let's go with this. See where we're at. Let's see where we're at here, though. Okay, well, let's just go here.
Dialogue is over. Otherwise, if there is another message in the array, then I'll reset current char to 0 so the next message can start from the beginning. We're done with the logic, so now we'll move on to drawing the dialog box. For this, let's go into the events and add a draw GUI event for drawing directly to the GUI layer. We used the same event before message out of the array, and because each message is a struct, remember, here we want to get the true and false are just 1 and 0.
Okay, key input, let's check the key input. Okay, so I got here. Okay, so I need to go back to here because that's I didn't finish off here. Let's go. Alright, so I think I got this part here. Okay, so maybe I'll get some music going in the background as well. Ooh. YouTube. Let's get this music going. Playlists. What are we feeling chill? Let's do workout. There we go. Okay.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say.
We need to keep writing. Okay. Let's get this going.
And if you don't do what you're forced to, you don't make it. Obviously, it's called quitting. We forced you to put a boat on your head and run 10 miles. You don't want to do that anymore? Cool, you quit. But what we really want is someone that's going to discover self-discipline.
Shouldn't have clicked that.
And what that means is that you are the general, and you are also the soldier. You're the one that's making you do the task, right? So if I'm the general and Echo's the soldier, I'm like, this is what you have to do, and you do it, cool, that's imposed discipline. That's actually not that hard. But for me to be the general and me to be the soldier, that's harder. That's hard. In fact, this is why people have personal trainers, right? They know what they have to do, but they actually need someone to tell them what to do, like do one more rep. They know what to, look, I could give you the workout program, here it is, go do it. But they need someone actually there to impose discipline on them, otherwise they're not going to do it. Strange, right?
It's real.
It's real. So we have to realize that we are the ones that are imposing discipline and we are the ones that are executing. We're the general and we're the soldier. So think about that. Get yourself in the mindset that, yes, I'm the general and yes, I'm the soldier. And I've got to be good at both. I've got to be good at setting out what it is I need to do, and then I need to be good at doing what I need to do. I'm not allowed to refuse orders, by the way. I'm not allowed to have a mutiny. There's no mutiny allowed. When the general says do it, you've got to do it. And we miss that little piece sometimes. Sometimes we end up with a military unit in our brain that's not functioning because the general's putting out word and the soldier's not listening. The soldier lacks discipline. The soldier's making excuses. The soldier's rationalizing. And the general doesn't know what to do. And so what do you end up with? Failure. You end up with failure across the board in multiple areas. So if you're lucky going through basic SEAL training, you can kind of get it. You kind of learn some self-discipline. And That's what we need in our lives. That's what we need. That's what having that general in position, having that commanding officer in position to make decisions for you, the soldier, that's what we need. And this is why I wrote about this in the Discipline Equals Freedom field manual. I get that you don't want to do it. I get that you don't want to do it. I get that the bed is warm and the pillow is soft. I understand that.
Right.
I get that the water is cold. I get that you're tired. I get all those things.
Current character.
But if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to move forward, if you want to actually become who it is you know you can become,
Get some good coffee here.
there's no easy way of getting there. There's no shortcut. There's no hack. There's only discipline.
We're done
That's it.
with the logic, so now we'll move on to drawing the dialog box. For this, let's go into the events and add a draw GUI event for
Alright, draw GUI. We'll save this really quick. Add events. Draw GUI. Yeah. See what we got.
drawing directly to the GUI
Oop, gotta wait for it to load.
layer. We used the same events before for drawing our health and XP bars, so this is useful for drawing anything directly to the screen. I'll add some local variables. We have the X position of the box, its Y position, which is the GUI height multiplied with 0.7, so it's 70% of the weight down vertically. Then we have the width of the box, which is the same as the width of the GUI area, and then the height of the box, which is the GUI height minus its Y position. This means that the box will cover the remaining 30% of the area vertically. Then we'll draw a box using draw sprite stretch and pass in the X, Y, width and height that we just calculated. Now I want to start drawing the text on it. We'll first draw the name of the speaker. I'll increase the X and Y by 16. That's where the name will be drawn. I'll set the font to font 1, the same font we created and used in the last video. Let's get the name from the array. So I'll get the current message from the array. And then from that struct, I'll get the name variable. I'll draw the name using draw text, pass in the position and the name string that we just got. Now we want to draw the actual message. Before doing that though, I'll increase the drawing Y by 40. So we are drawing the message 40 pixels below the name. I'll draw the text, but this time I'll use draw text ext. This function lets you define a maximum width for your text. So if the string goes past that width, it will wrap to the next line. This way the text will stay inside the box. I'll pass the X and the Y and the draw message.
Let's go back so I can see the top here. Right there. Okay, let's continue with this.
Go into the book right now. Discipline Equals Freedom field manual. There must be
I did listen to that, and it's really good. It helped me a lot lately. It's helped me a lot.
discipline. Which, think about that for 10 seconds of your life. There must be discipline. If there's not discipline, the soldiers are doing whatever they want. And guess what the soldiers want to do? They want to sleep. They want to get drunk. They want to eat donuts. That's what the soldiers want to do. That's what they want to do. They're looking for immediate gratification. So, not allowed. There must be discipline. Discipline, the root of all good qualities. The driver of daily execution. Daily execution. Daily execution doesn't come from motivation. Yeah, look, if you get motivated today, great. If you're motivated tomorrow morning and you watched a cool video, you got motivated, good. I'm happy.
Hell yeah.
But how many? What's the half-life of a video having an impact on you? What's the half-life? How many times can you watch a video before you say to yourself, all right, I get it, and it wore off? Right? Well, what's the half-life? So the daily driver isn't motivation. It's not a video. The daily driver has no thoughts almost whatsoever. It only has discipline. It only has discipline. Did you ever see the movie Soldier?
Yes.
And
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Yep.
Look, in my own twisted way, that's sort of the life I wanted. Right?
Sure.
In my own twisted way, that's kind of the life I wanted. But at one point in that movie, in the movie, the guy, he's just a soldier. He works out, he trains. When there's a war, they send him to war. When there's no war, he sits on his bed and waits for war and trains.
Yeah.
That's the fantasy that many of us have, right?
Sure.
So at one point, though, he ends up on this other planet, and he ends up with a family, living with a normal family. And the mom of this normal family, she's asking him, do you have any, what do you feel? Do you feel anything? And his answer is fear and discipline. And he says it like that. Fear and discipline, which is really a heavy thing. Because the only thing he feels is fear, like I'm afraid I'm going to die, I'm afraid I'm going to fail, I'm afraid I'm not going to do the right thing, I'm afraid I'm going to make a mistake, and all that is overcome by one thing, discipline. So when we talk about the daily driver of execution, it's got to be discipline. This is the core principle, going back to the book, the core principle that overcomes laziness and lethargy and excuses. Discipline defeats the infinite excuses that say, not today, not now, I need a rest, I will do it tomorrow. And you can just keep going on the excuse list. Have we ever sat down, we should get on Chat GPT and just have it come up with excuses. Give me 7,000 excuses why I shouldn't work out today. It'll do it too.
7,000.
It'll give you 7,000 excuses
Yeah.
on why you shouldn't work out today. And you know what? Probably 6,000 of them, you can kind of nod your head and be like, well, that's not a bad one. So excuses are a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. We have to have discipline to overcome them. So then, going back to the book, what's the hack? How do you become stronger, smarter, faster, healthier? How do you become better? How do you achieve true freedom? There's only one way. The way of discipline. So that's what we're doing. That is the discipline. And with that, if you want to do some more discipline activities, go to thedefreset.com. If you need fuel, go to jockofuel.com. If you need gear, go to originusa.com or jockostore.com. And if you need leadership, go to echelonfront.com. And until next time, this is Echo and Jocko out.
40 pixels below the
Discipline equals freedom.
Okay. 16. Okay, guys. Well, it's a short one here, but we finished Jocko video, so I'll call it a night. Thanks for watching, and any suggestions, criticisms, how I can do better with this, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm so new to coding, I hardly know what I'm doing here. As you can see, I'm just copying line by line. Yeah, and what can I do better? Anyways, and hope you enjoy my stumblings, and this is Game Creator Monk out.